Well, that's for you to judge how I have been received as far as this is concerned. But countries like ours, the least developed countries, are really badly affected as a result of the general inflation all over the world and the rise in oil price. On the one hand, we are paying far too much price for oil, and on the other hand, we are having to get from the developed countries finished products at higher and higher price. So on the one hand, we are having to pay a much higher bill for oil, and on the other hand, we are having to pay much higher bill for imported products. This has put us off very badly. So we have to find out ways and means by which we can balance up this maladjustment. And it is with this objective that I suggested that the OPEC countries should think of supplying oil at that price level to the least developed countries. Yeah, thank you very much. This is again very important for us, this commodity price agreement, because we find that for our raw products, countries like us are mainly exporting raw material. And for this, unfortunately, we are getting lesser price or not attractive price. So this has decreased our exports in real value. So if an agreement like this is reached through negotiations and understanding, it is going to help countries like ours reasonably well and keep our export balanced, and we can see beforehand and know how much we can earn from our exports. This will help us in planning our production in the country and our export over a period of substantial time. Well, as I said this morning, it's not an easy thing, but we got to keep moving with the negotiations and find out new formulas which could be acceptable to all the parties, and especially formulas which will, in real term, benefit countries like ours. Yeah, I would like to say one thing, and that is that some of the countries like ours have a lot of untapped resources, unexplored resources, unutilized resources, natural resources. For our country, we can say, such as the gas, natural gas, good prospect for oil, limestone, coal, which have remained unexplored or fully developed. So this way we would be able to foresee our exports and plan our economy. Answer to your first question is that there's nothing like that. This is a thing which have been, I understand, mentioned by others earlier. And we felt that it is better to say it here, and I don't think this has any prospect of, we had no talks with anybody else. If anybody said, it must have said on really many countries, both in the East and the West. The object, one should have understood that we were colonized for a long period, as a result of which we remain undeveloped, whereas we have tremendous resources. Firstly, the land is so fertile, and in agriculture, our return is so low. As I said a few minutes ago, we have several others very valuable natural resources which have remained undeveloped, unexplored. For this, we got to talk to people who have the money, who have the technical know-how. Apart from this, being a new country, I had decided to visit as many countries as possible. And I think these visits have really helped us a lot. to project Bangladesh in other countries and discuss with those countries' leaders as to how economic cooperation could be built up. And as a result of these visits, our assistance from abroad has increased over the last 2-3 years, and the economy in our country are gradually picking up. That a few months ago, Bangladesh proposed a forum on the basis of South Asian countries. And this has been well received by the various countries of South Asia region. And the object is that through this forum, we could do many things which will benefit the region as a whole. And under that forum, trade, commerce, and other bilateral relations, regional matters could be discussed, as in case of other regional forums. Let me tell you that up to 1950, our country then, East Pakistan, was self-sufficient in food. And thereafter, till recently, the agriculture sector, not much was done. As a result, with the growth of the population, the requirement of the food went up, but the food production remained low. Now, we have rationing system in our country which is coming over since a long period. Now, the object of our government is to gradually get rid of this rationing system, which is mainly concentrated in the urban areas, but we are trying to sort of distribute more and more in the rural areas. And lately, we have started open market operation, whereby at a certain price we sell out in the markets rice and wheat to keep the market price steady. At the same time, we have undertaken special measures to procure a lot of food grains, and right now we have 1.2 million roughly food stock with the government. We are giving a lot of encouragement to the farmers by price support, and in future we are going to do a lot more. The object is ourselves to become self-sufficient in food so that we don't have to get really food from abroad. It's not a good thing.
But realistically, you are going to need additional food aid for the next several years. And what is the impact of the British government curtailment?
I'm coming to that point. Let me tell you that we shall be self-sufficient in food earlier than anybody thinks, and we have taken certain measures on that count, and we are beginning to get the results. As far as...
When do you expect food self-sufficiency?
I think in the next 2-3 years' time, or maybe a little more, maybe a little less, because we have launched a sort of special program on this count, and we have got very good results, and the next 1 year will give very solid indication about it. Our object is not to become self-sufficient alone, but we are going for doubling food production in the next 5-6 years' time from now. For this, we are mobilizing the people to take to voluntary works for re-excavating the silted up canals and rivers with a view to doing irrigation, bringing more and more land under irrigation. And in the last winter, we did massive work on this count, and through voluntary means we brought more than 600,000 acres of land under irrigation, virtually at no cost. And next winter, which is our dry season, we are going to undertake 3 times more than this work. That means we will try about 1.5 million acres to be brought additional under irrigation by unconventional method. So this is a great effort that is coming up in our country. And I hope this question will not arise very much in the near future. Reduced the food aid as compared to before because of certain other reasons also. But I hope that the food aid by other countries will not be affected as a result of this. This is the time where we need support because we are trying to pick up and stand on our feet. And this is the time that our friendly countries got to come forward and give us a helping hand in a big way. Well, the Islamic solidarity is building up, I hope with in the near future we shall be able to overcome these problems through various measures, and I strongly feel that the Islamic solidarity is going to become stronger and stronger in future.
But does the present situation in those two specific countries right now concern you deeply?
It does concern, but I don't think Islamic solidarity as such is affected as a result of these two. Our position on Afghanistan is quite clear, and we feel that the foreign troops from Afghanistan should be withdrawn, and the people of Afghanistan should be left on their own to choose their system, political, economic, and government system. I precisely don't know, but I think they are making all efforts to work out some understanding with the present Afghan people or government. I don't understand. I don't have the exact information, but they are approaching in various ways to realize their objective. Good, I think that's a very good question. It's a very difficult problem, let me tell you, but this should not dishearten us. There should be less of pessimism and more of optimism, and we should move forward and negotiate, carry on with the dialogue, talk, and find out formulas which could bring better results in this. As far as we are concerned, we are not sitting idle. We are developing our natural gas, and we have sufficient natural gas. I think in the near future we are going to sort of bring gas under more utilization. We may sell natural gas as LNG and use natural gas as CNG and things like that. And we are now exploring ourselves for oil. There's very strong indication that we have oil. And we hope in the near future we may have oil, we may get oil in our country. Then we have a huge reserve of coal in the northern areas of our country. And we're going to sort of exploit this coal mine. And we're working also on other form of energies to meet our present requirement and also the future requirement. But as time is passing, our own energy requirement is also increasing. So coming around that we got to do something so that the least developed countries do not come under so heavy pressure as a result of the increase in the price of oil. Because we really don't have the means to buy oil at such high rates. Yet we need oil for our development, for oil on the land. We have brought now our own rigs, and in a few months' time we would